Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. XRP price can reach 3 to 4 digits. Frankfurt Stock Exchange correspondent. So that's right. You're talking about $100 to over $1,000 XRP. I'm going to share with you some thoughts on this and specifically what this individual had to say. But this is coming from an actual XRP holder investor. Specifically working with Ripple. So I'll share with you this, and then I also want to share with you something that I posted on social media platform X last night before things went completely bonkers today, and it has to do with where I'm going to be willing to sell my XRP, because to be honest with you, for life-changing wealth, from current levels, as of last night anyway, so as of last night, even just like a 5x, that's pretty much all I'm looking for. Which might sound low, but I want to kind of flesh out the ideas and explain why that is indeed the case for me, just because I think it's a fun topic of conversation. And for some of you, you're going to be aiming for a higher multiple, and some of you less. It just depends on what your targets are and how much you've actually invested. But before going any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. A correspondent at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange believes XRP clinching a 3 to 4 digit price is feasible, citing the crypto asset's immense utility in the finance scene. Oliver Michael, founder and CEO of German-based venture capitalist firm Tokentus Investment AG, said this while speaking in an interview with a, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Der Aktionär reporter. That would be the network. Anyway, a digital asset investor and XRP community figure recently highlighted the interview on X. When asked what excites him about Ripple and XRP, Michael noted that Ripple's position as a company with a board structure rather than a foundation is a good thing. Secondly, he emphasized how Ripple leverages the XRP ledger for multiple business cases. However, he specifically spotlighted ODL, now Ripple Payments, as an interesting business case which looks to address pain points with international money transfers. Michael stressed that sending money across borders, for instance, EUR from Germany to USD in the US, would take a lot of time and cost due to exchange rates and bank intermediaries. The Tokentus CEO noted that Ripple solves this by converting the source currency, in this case EUR, to XRP on the XRP Ledger blockchain. They then convert the XRP to the target currency, in this case USD, with low cost and reduced time. Concerning the price of XRP, Michael had some interesting remarks. It bears mentioning that Tokentus, Michael's company, is an XRP investor. The firm purchased 50,000 euros worth of XRP last July. Data from its official website shows it holds 372,000 XRP, purchased for 225k euros. Michael confirmed that he is interested in prices because of his company's investment. He projected a price target of $5 to $10 for XRP. According to Michael, XRP's price targets would come in waves, with the $5 to $10 being targets for the first wave. So folks, that sounds sufficiently conservative to me. That sounds very reasonable. Now, I don't make price predictions. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't pretend to know. But that is safely within the confines of reality. I mean, that's mostly the range that I'm looking for. I don't think I'll be holding XRP all the way up to, $10. But, between $5 and $8, yeah. More on that in a minute, though. Piece continues. Speaking further, he revealed that his interest in Ripple and XRP is due to the fact that he and his company are invested in both entities. Besides holding XRP tokens, Tokentus Investment AG invested $100,000 in a special purpose vehicle, SPV, for Ripple shares in December 2022. Now, as far as where the bigger numbers may come in, that's basically if XRP becomes basically one of the cryptocurrencies that becomes a global reserve currency. So here's my thoughts on this. I haven't talked about this in a while. I think people get too jazzed up and just have this assumption that it will be XRP because, there are people in our community, and God love y'all, get a little bit excited. And it's it's, you know, and you see the same type of stuff from certain people in pretty much any community out there. You go to the Bitcoin community, I'm going to say it's Bitcoin. You can just pick your coin, right? Now, it's plausible that XRP could become a global reserve in the future. I just don't imagine that would happen anytime soon with Ripple holding as much XRP as they do. Well, think about it. I mean, whether you're a nation, let's say you are a nation, okay? What exactly are you protecting against? Like, no, seriously, what are you doing? Because if you have, if you're using XRP as a reserve currency, but you know that one entity could make your investment of your nation tank substantially, are you going to do that? I just don't think that any nation is going to do that with the current concentration of XRP being held by Ripple. Now, I don't care because I don't think Ripple's just going to start dumping all the, I don't know, I've been aware of their holdings since I jumped in 2017. I don't give a damn. Other people won't hold XRP because they hate the concentration of XRP, and fair enough. So I don't care. I'm willing to take that risk for me. But is a nation going to do that? They're going to risk their financial sovereignty and well-being on a United States-based fintech company? I no, sorry, no. Now if you're talking way in the future and there's much less of a concentration, okay, that's plausible. In fact, I think it's plausible that there could be multiple cryptocurrencies, XRP and others, that could become global reserves. I think it's way too assume that XRP is going to be one of them, though. And I also don't think that you're going to see this until the asset class is extremely mature because, I mean, fine, you may see, we have seen nations actually purchasing and holding XRP. Okay, sure. But if you're talking about for this particular purpose, I don't think that that's likely to be occurring until the volatility has been reduced substantially. Which, by the way, of course, happens as more money flows into the crypto asset class. It's just the law of large numbers. That's all that is. So the more money flows in, by the time you get there, it's going to be as exciting being in crypto as it would be to be investing in precious metals. It's pretty much going to be like that, which is to say much more boring than it is today. But no, it's so again, I don't think it's crazy. The talk about it isn't crazy, but there are some people that just have this, what I would say is improper conviction that it will be XRP and it is going to happen. It's going to be the global reserve. Really, you're making that bold call in 2024? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's not the most reasonable to believe firmly that's what's going to happen here. But if you're talking about $5 to $10, sure. $5 to $10, sure. And 3 digits doesn't sound crazy to me either. You start getting up into 4 and 5 digits, I'm going to start looking at you cockeyed. Like a confused dog. What's going on there? Because you start to lose me because it starts to get into Fantasyland stuff. Because you with some of these predictions that I've seen, there's literally not enough money on the planet to bid up the price of XRP to some of those bigger types of levels. Especially if you're talking tens of thousands of dollars. Unless of course you're talking about runaway inflation, in which case it doesn't matter anyway. Because when people say tens of thousands of dollars for an individual XRP, what they're actually talking about is in terms of today's purchasing power. If you have a $10,000 XRP and all it can buy you is a loaf of bread, nobody gives a damn. That's not what people are talking about. So it's always silly when people bring up the inflation argument. Come on, what are we actually talking about here? Then it's kind of silly. But yeah, the big targets, I believe they're absolutely possible. As far as this market cycle, I'm going to do what I'm doing. I'm not going to hang on. I'm not going to be too greedy. In fact, let me share with you a little bit about my thoughts on some of this. And here's a post I shared on X just last night. What multiple do you need on your entire crypto portfolio to hit your exit target or ideal target from your current level? For me, it's a 5x. If I get that, I'm gold. I know a 5x increase may not sound like much, but from where my portfolio is today, that would be beyond substantial to me subjectively. Yeah, and I'll pause to say, seriously, at this point, that would be like winning a big-ass lottery ticket to me. That's what it would be like to me. And then I wrote, part of the reason this is the case is because I put into crypto what, to me at least, is a lot of money. But also because I've been holding since 2017 and have never cashed out to USD before, United States dollars. Many of my oldest holdings have had outrageous increases, though not all. Yeah, and so I'll just pause to note, some of the other stuff, like even Tron, Chainlink might be the coin where I got the greatest multiplier effect. because I bought it at 25 cents in last market cycle. It went up to like $50, something like that. Yes, 25 cents to $50. And it's much lower now. I haven't checked the price in a while. I don't know if it's like 15 or $20 now. Probably somewhere around there. So, like, and then, of course, I've been holding Bitcoin. Like, I first bought Bitcoin at $6,500 in 2017. And I hold Bitcoin still, you know. My average buying price for XRP is about 25 cents. You know, I bought, what was the first price I bought ETH? 300, I don't know, but it was probably around 300 in November, whatever it was on November 10th of 2017. That's what I paid. I know it was kind of a little volatile that day, but then it went down, and then you buy more, and so what I'm saying is, like, ETH got down to what, like $88. Look, I bought all sorts of cheap crap, and I didn't cash out last market cycle, because the way I was looking at it is, even if it takes me multiple cycles, and I'm like very good about forcing myself through this, like I have the right mentality when it comes to investing. Even when I jumped in 2017, I said, even if it takes multiple market cycles for me to finally cash out, I'll just do it when I'm sufficiently enticed. And until then, I'll write it up and I'll write it down. And I know that's not what most people want to do. That's what I'm doing. I want the exposure, period. And people can mock that if they want to. I don't give a damn. This is my approach. This is what I'm doing. And it's worked out quite well so far. So I've got a bunch of stuff especially stuff I purchased in the early days, way up. And that's because I've had, sufficient time here. And then there's other stuff more recently that I purchased in the last, say, 2 to 3 years that is not up as much. And that shouldn't surprise anybody, because the market keeps trending up. And then I don't care if some of the stuff that I buy is never high enough again for me to feel enticed to sell it, so be it. I'm actually not expecting that everything I buy is going to be a winner for me. I don't have that expectation. And so I then wrote, if you asked me what multiple I would have needed back in 2018 or 2019, I'm not sure what my answer would have been, but suffice it to say, it would have been much higher than what I need today. And so I'll pause to say here, it would be fun to go back and try and figure out what I might have said. I'd have to look at what my what the dollar figure of my net worth in crypto was back then. Nowhere near what it is today, certainly, because again, I've just let time pass. I'm letting time do the heavy lifting for me. That's why my crypto's worth more. And yeah, I did put real money into it, but I don't know what my answer would have been. It wouldn't have been 5x. I would have needed way more than 5x back then. And so for people that are listening, if you're newer to crypto, that's normal, okay? Like, if you go through another market cycle and you have what you have now, you're not going to need, in a likelihood, unless some of the stuff you hold actually goes to zero, I don't think you're going to need like a 20x or a 30x. And maybe that is what I would have needed back then. I don't know. It'd be fun to kind of go back and try and figure out what I might have said. But it could have been. What if it was 20, 30, 40x? I don't know. I'm really not sure. Maybe I will go back at some point just for fun and try and figure that out. But if I had known in 2017 that I'd be sitting here, in 2024, in a position where all I need is a 5x, the amount of relief 2017 me would have felt would have been substantial. To just need a 5x in crypto, which is incredibly volatile, like that's not a big ask, guys. It's really not a big ask. And so I then wrote, what matters is time in the market, not timing the market. Broad exposure over a long period of time. I basically created my own little crypto basket ETF, and I've been sitting on it for over 6 years now. I knew that strategy worked for the stock market, and back in 2017, I figured it would work for the crypto asset class too. And guess what? It does. Folks, that is absolutely true. And so I don't assume that I'm going to make much of anything from some of the coins, and so what? It's about having broad exposure. It's the same reason that, purchasing an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, it's the same reason that works. It's about the broad exposure. That's what matters. That and then time. That's it. It's very simple. And so you can mock me for the stuff that I didn't sell when it was higher if it never comes back, but I don't care. That's not my plan. Maybe that's your plan. That's not my plan. My plan is to have broad exposure and understand that some things are going to lose. And from this current level, Bitcoin, I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to sell it. At some point I finally am. But maybe that'll be less than $100,000. So that would mean that from here, that's less than a 2-fold increase, and I'm targeting a 5-fold increase. So if I'm not going to hold Bitcoin through another five-fold from here, which I'm not, that means that other coins are going to have to do heavier lifting. And so that's another factor as well. But I didn't get into that nuance in this post. But yeah, of course that's true. Like, I'm not expecting to only get a 5x increase from XRP, for example. I'm expecting way higher than that. Certainly. For XRP, I mean, from the current price level, hopefully I would average out to well over 10x. I don't know. I don't know what the number would be off the top. Maybe it's more like 12 or 13x. I'd have to crunch numbers. I'm not going to waste your time while I'm recording this video. But yeah, so that would be one where I know that I need to get more than 5x. I'm just saying it needs to average out to 5x what my total crypto portfolio is at the moment I posted it. That's what I actually mean by that. And then I also wrote, as a consequence of the simplicity of my investment approach, sadly, I have no crypto course to sell you for $2,000. But you just got my course. My course is buy stuff, have broad exposure, and then don't do a damn thing until you're enticed to sell. When years pass, that's it. That's the course. You just got the course. That's it. That's the whole thing. Congratulations. You graduated from the course. You did it. You're a genius now. I also wrote, honestly, a 3x for me from this level would be life-changing, but I think 5x is a nice compromise. It's sufficiently conservative that I wouldn't risk effing up what I've been trying to accomplish for the past 6+ years, but it would add tremendous financial stability for me. I firmly believe this means I'll be leaving a lot of money on the table. After all, presumably many of my coins will do way more than a 5x from this point. But that's not what matters to me. It's about taking risk off the table, because a 5x from here is more than I'll need in life. Don't be greedy. And that is true. So, I mean, just with that, literally at that point, for what my standards are, and maybe this wouldn't be the case for everybody, because again, some people want to be able to spend way, way, way more than me, but for me, this will be enough that, should I get to this point, 5-fold increase after over 6 years of the journey, if I get there, what that dollar figure is, and I'm not going to say the dollar figure, I'd rather keep that private, but that would mean that I don't need to earn another penny for the rest of my life. I'm good. And all I need is a 5x. And so, again, people can make fun of me for my approach, but it's worked so far. It's been doing roughly what I expected it to do, and there's been some bumps along the road along the way, like the SEC coming in attacking all of us. There's that, as XRP holders, obviously. There's been some things. That was the worst one, but it still works. It ultimately does work in the end. I also oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so I want to share this with you. Let me share with you my missed opportunity to purchase XRP at half a penny, and I've only brought this up on the channel. I definitely brought it up one time. It might have been twice, but that would have been it. And the only reason I hadn't talked about it, it's not like out of shame or anything. It's just like, I never really considered that the beginning of my crypto journey, and you'll see why in just a second here. But somebody named Jaws, J-O-Z, wrote, my fear and greed indicator is set to full greed, LOL, 100x, baby. Just kidding, good luck to all out there. Your account was the first one I came across and think in 2018/2019-ish. And so I wrote back to him and said, wow, well then I guess that makes you an OG, as they say. And he wrote back to me and said, OG, triple OG. Matt, I remember watching your channel early on and think, what a mistake I made not taking this asset class more serious earlier. Oh, hindsight is a mother. And so that resonated with me, right? So check this out. And I've only shared this on the channel once, maybe twice. And it's a real short story. It's what's on your screen right here. I wrote to him and I said, I feel ya. I've told my story of what led me to crypto multiple times, but something I've only mentioned on my channel once, maybe twice, was my missed opportunity. In 2016, I watched a documentary on Netflix called Banking on Bitcoin. I found it interesting, didn't completely understand what I watched, and took no action. If I had taken action, I could have bought XRP at half a penny. I missed that opportunity. Meh, such is life. I'm still glad I jumped into crypto in 2017. That's considered early now. And by the way, and then I wrote that the documentary is no longer on Netflix, but it is. I found a link on Vimeo, and then the volume was too quiet though, and then I found out that it's also on Tubi, T-U-B-I. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that app. It's something I have it. I just rarely use it. It's free though, and you can download that, watch it on your smart TV, watch it on your phone, whatever. But it is there. So if anybody's curious to check it out, it's a Bitcoin documentary from 2016, and it's just so neat watching it, having the benefit of hindsight that we now have in 2024. And it was also interesting because they were talking about one of the first primary use cases of Bitcoin would be for remittances. And I'm sitting there thinking, I know, when I jumped in 2017, I was like, this is something that's obviously going to be kind of important, right? It's one of the most obvious use cases at that particular moment in time. And so it was just neat. And so I've got another. I did start watching it last night, and I've got another 13 minutes left in it. But it was just fascinating. And then seeing all these faces, like who were all the faces. I don't know who anybody was in that damn documentary when I watched it. And going back, I'm aware of who pretty much all of them are. It's just kind of funny just to have a minute space. I was like, oh yeah, you're on my TV now. How about that? So, I don't beat myself up about this. And the only reason that I didn't really mention this is because I didn't take action at that point. So I never really considered it the start of my journey. I always considered the start of my crypto journey when I made a move into it, which was in November of 2017. But technically, if I had, and it is what it is, I could have had XRP at half a penny, because if I just started to do the homework, I would have seen pretty quickly what was going on there. But it wasn't until the mania of 2017 where the headlines popped up, and then I read some articles, and then the mania is what got me into it. Not because it was mania, but specifically because I was reading some interesting stuff, and then I started doing my own research. So at least I took action eventually. My God, my life would be very different in a very worse way if I had not taken that action in 2017. So fine to miss 2016, and how cheap everything else is back then too, but the opportunity's still here. There's so much freaking opportunity. And so whatever multiplier you're looking at for yourself, whether it's lower than mine, and some of you only need a 2 or 3x, like people responded, and some people actually only need a 2 or 3x, which is impressive. That's awesome. It depends on what your goals are. Some people won't consider it to be enough until they have like 5 times what I'm shooting for. So some people know, if they knew what I had, they'd be like, what, a 5x? No, I do want a 20. I need 20x for that. But for me, I don't. I really don't. Because, first of all, I'm going to secure that. I'm going to put that money to work, and I'm going to invest it. And I'm also going to keep working and earning more money. It's not like I'm just going to go away. I'm still going to run this channel and do all of my other stuff. I have multiple income streams. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, But I want to secure that. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm saying. So I'll have the option of never doing anything ever again if I so choose that, which is not what I do. But that's not the point. The point is the financial security. And it's the most empowering thing about all of this is the everyday person, which I am, can do this. I know I haven't quite gotten to where I want to yet, and it's been over 6 years, but I'm proof it's possible. And I think I'm going to get there. I mean, if I don't, then we'll just have to do a post-mortem on that one if something disastrous happens. But I'm very optimistic it's for real going to happen. And it will be surreal, that moment, when I do start selling and all of that money starts flowing into my checking account. And then I've got to put it to work, investing, and there are many ways that I can do that. And I'll talk about that on the channel too, because that'll be a fun topic of conversation, once we get to that point. But man, this is real. So anyway, that's why I put it out there last night. I just thought it was a fun topic of a conversation. And plus it gives me a chance to kind of share my thinking when it comes to investing, like my longer term strategy, if you will. And again, people want different things, so it's not like my way would be right for everybody. I'm not proposing that everybody do exactly what I'm doing. It's not financial advice. I just think it's fun to talk about this. But I felt so confident in 2017 that if the asset class is here to stay, and I firmly believe that it was, then you just need broad exposure over a long period of time. That does work. I'm not going to worry about all the intricacies of trying to time the market, because I know statistically that fails, including in equities. Why would I try and do that? People get wrecked doing that stuff. And so, yes, that does mean that, I'm not selling at the highs, but it also means I get to have my broad exposure as the crypto pie gets bigger, which is the part that actually matters to me. So I think I'm going to get mine, and you can definitely get yours. Like, it's just such an empowering and true message. It's not some sort of pipe dream. This is real, folks. And if 2017 me knew the dollar figure that I have right here in February of 2024, again, 2017 me would have been thrilled. It would have been hard to believe. And here I am, and all I got to keep doing is precisely nothing, because I let time do the heavy lifting. The market does it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.